Right, well, hopefully you can all hear me. I've had to move into the house today. I got kicked out of my little space down the garden. We have some Easter business going on down there, so I've moved into the house. So hopefully you'll still be able to hear me, and there won't be too many children running around outside the rooms, running and screaming or shouting at each other or whatever. I have threatened them all. So we're going to start. If you just want to start seated, you don't need anything. Maybe a cushion or a mat if you've got one, but not entirely necessary. So it was quite hardcore last week, so I've decided that we'll be a little bit more relaxed today. So I hope that's okay. Right. So we're going to start seated. So if you just find yourselves a comfortable position, you can either sit with the legs crossed, you can take them straight out in front of you, you can kneel, whatever you need to do to feel comfortable. We're going to sit here for a few minutes. So you're going to sit up nice and tall, take a little roll of the shoulders, drawing them all the way down the back, gently pulling the belly button in, grounding down through the sit bones and sending the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. So just starting to connect with your breath. Taking some nice deep breaths in and out through the nose. And just trying to really clear the mind, let go of your day. Anything else that you've got to do for the rest of the evening, the rest of the week. And just focus on yourself, your own breath and movement. Just really trying to keep that breath nice and smooth and even. Maybe taking the inhale to about the count of 4 or 5 with a slight pause at the top before breathing all the way back down. And when you get to the bottom of your exhale, just really try and release all that stale air from the bottom of the lungs. So we're going to start to take the breath into the belly, so you can bring the hands there if you want to. You're going to feel the belly rise and fall as you breathe in and out. And really just allow the belly to press into the hands with each breath in. And then you're going to just take the hands up to the ribs if you want to. You can keep them resting down, but we're starting to take that breath into the side of the body now. So really breathing into the ribs. Feel them expand out towards the sides and into the hands as you inhale. And allow them to soften back in as you exhale. And finally taking that breath into the top of the chest, the space around the heart. So really breathing into the heart space here. Feeling the chest rise and fall with every breath. And then finally piecing that breath together, so you can start to bring the hands down if you want to. You're going to breathe from the belly to the ribs to the top of the chest, slight pause at the top, then the chest to the ribs and all the way down to the belly. So again, trying to keep those inhales and exhales to about the count of 4 or 5, and really try and keep the breath nice and smooth and even. So filling the whole of the lungs from bottom to top. And releasing that air back out from the top all the way to the bottom. So just taking a couple more rounds of breath now in your own time. trying to keep with these nice deep breaths in and out through the nose throughout the whole of your practice as best as you can, but the most important thing is to breathe, so however that flows in and out of the body, just stay with it. I'm going to start to drop the chin down towards the chest and just really breathe into the back of the neck here. So still gently pulling the belly button in towards the spine so you can sit up nice and tall. And each time you exhale, just try and release any tension or tightness that you can feel into the back of the neck. Breathing in, slowly roll that chin over towards the right shoulder. Use the whole of your inhale to take you there, and exhaling, gently bring it back to the center. Breathing in over towards the left shoulder now. And exhaling, take it back. Just do one more breath on each side like this. Try and keep it a breath in line with the whole of the movement, so nice and slowly. And then just pausing back into the center. You're going to inhale and lift the chin all the way up towards the ceiling. So stretching through the throat. Try and draw the shoulders away from the ears. Just take a little pause here. And exhaling, slowly bring the chin back down towards the chest. And just breathing in, bring that head back up to the center. You're going to drop the right ear to the right shoulder. So breathing through the left side of the neck, relax the shoulders down, still sitting up nice and tall, keep pulling that belly button in towards the spine. And with each exhale, just breathing away any tension or tightness that you can feel in the body here. And just one more breath. You're going to place the right hand on the floor next to you, reach the left arm all the way up. So as you inhale, really stretch through that left side of the body. And as you exhale, take it all the way over. We're going to come back up. So inhaling, reaching all the way up. And exhaling, take it back over. 2 more breaths like this. Use the whole of your inhale to take you up. And the whole of the exhale as you soften over. Just 1 more breath. And as you exhale here, you're just going to take a little pause. So really try and draw this left shoulder blade away. We're really breathing through the left side of the body here. So you can just relax down, stretch as far over as you can, but really try and keep both sit bones on the floor. Take the forearm down if you want to. Keep breathing into those ribs. Just take 1 more breath here. And then pressing that right hand into the floor, bring yourself all the way up to the center. Take the left hand down, you're going to drop the left ear to the left shoulder this time. So drawing those shoulder blades away from the ears, breathing now through the right side of the neck. Still gently pulling that belly button in, grounding down through the sit bones and trying to breathe away any tension or tightness that you can feel in the body and the neck whenever you exhale. You're going to place the left hand on the floor next to you this time. Reach the right arm all the way up. So as you inhale, really stretch through the right side of the body. Exhaling, falling over. We're going to come back up, breathing in, reaching up. And breathing out, reaching up and over. 2 more breaths like this. Final breath. And just take a little gentle pause here, reaching up and over as far as you can. So you're drawing this right shoulder blade back, really breathing into the ribs in the side of the body here. Keep grounding down through the sit bones and stretching through the sides of the body. And take 1 more breath here. Pressing that hand into the floor, bring yourself all the way back up to a seated position. Stretch both arms up towards the ceiling. Reach through the fingertips, stretching up, draw the shoulders away from the ears. Take another inhale. And exhaling, bring the arms all the way down. 2 more breaths like this, lifting up. So really stretch through the fingers as you take the arms up to the ceiling. And as you exhale, bring them down. 1 more breath, reaching all the way up. You're going to take a little pause here, and then you're going to take a twist to your right and just float the arms down. Relax the shoulders, breathing in, lift the arms up. And breathing out, take them back down. 1 more breath like this. And as you exhale this time, see if you can bring that right hand as close to the lower back and behind you as you can towards the sit bones. You're going to lengthen through the spine as you inhale and gently twist to your right as you exhale. So trying to keep the chin into the centre of the chest as best as you can and draw this right shoulder blade back. And just 1 more breath here. Inhaling, lift all the way up, reach and stretch through those fingers. Take a twist to the other side, to your left. Float the arms down. As you inhale, you're going to reach them back up. And exhale, float them down. 1 more breath like this, breathing in. Exhaling, bring the arms down and take that left hand behind you this time. So really ground down through that left hand so you can lengthen through the spine. Ground down through the sit bones and gently twist to the left. Again, trying to keep that chin into the centre of the chest and really draw this back shoulder blade back. With each time you breathe out, just see if you can twist a little bit further. Final breath. Reaching both arms up to the ceiling once more, stretch through those fingers. Take an inhale. And exhaling, reaching up and forwards. You're going to slide the hands towards you. Take a breath in, lifting all the way up. And exhaling, reaching forwards. 1 more breath like this. Lift all the way up through those fingertips. And exhaling, just take a pause now. Reach as far forward as you can. And you're going to drop the chin down towards the chest. So just gently rolling through the back of the neck. Gently nod yes and no. And you're just really relaxing forward as far as you can. So you're going to take 3 breaths here. And each time you inhale, you're going to try and lift through the spine, lift through the chest. And as you exhale, just soften forward. 2 more breaths, breathing in. And breathing out. Final breath. And just take a little pause here now. Really try and stretch through those sit bones, breathing away that tension. We're going to slowly roll all the way up through the spine. So bringing those hands all the way back up. Bring the hands into the centre of the chest. Blink open the eyes if they're still closed. You're going to clasp hold of the hands and just take a little roll through the wrists. So just taking those wrists around one way and then around the other way. And then you're going to take a slight pause here. We're just rolling through the wrists, a little Mexican wave. And then take another pause. We're going to go back the other way. So give those wrists a little shake. We're going to bring the knees in. We're just going to come down into a tabletop position. So you're going to swing the legs round. So the knees are under the hips and the hands are underneath the shoulders. The fingertips are pointing forwards. And we're going to come into our cat-cow. So starting at the base of the spine, you're going to take an inhale. And as you exhale, we're slowly starting to scoop the belly in. So rolling through the spine, as you press the hands down, you're going to bring the chin down last. So take a little pause here. We're really breathing into the shoulders, the space between the shoulder blades, and lifting through the upper back here. So keep scooping that belly button in and really tuck the chin in. On your next inhale, you're coming back the other way. So starting at the tailbone. Lift the tailbone up, rolling through the spine, lift through the chest and heart, and draw the shoulders away from the ears. So really try and arch through the spine here. We're trying to really manipulate the spine, just one vertebrae at a time. And with each breath, you're going to move to the movement. So although we're pausing here at the moment, on your next exhale, you're going to take the whole breath to that whole movement. And as you inhale, you're going to take it back. So just take another pause here. Deep breath in. And exhaling, we're scooping that belly. So nice and slowly, the whole of your exhale, bring that chin down. But we're going to carry on now. So inhaling, we're lifting the tailbone, rolling through the spine, draw the shoulders away from the ears. One more round of breath, exhaling here. And inhaling, coming forward. So coming back to your neutral spine now. You're going to stick to this tabletop position. We're going to take the right leg behind you. So stretching through that right leg behind you, pressing the toes into the mat. We're just going to take a gentle rock forwards and backwards. So feeling that stretch into the hamstring on the right side. We're going to pause and come back to the center. So you want the hands right underneath the shoulders and the knees are under the hips. You're going to lift this right leg up. Press through the heel, and as you exhale, bring the knee in towards the chest. We're going to take it out to the side, and then we're going to just bring it back in towards the center. And then we're going to take it back out. So you can make this a bit more of a fluid movement if you want to. Just gently bringing that knee out to the side, opening up the hip and bringing it back. So just nice and slowly. Inhaling as you take it out, and exhaling as you bring it back in. We're going to just do one more of these. And then taking that knee towards the ground, you're going to have a little rock and a shake from side to side. We're going to do it on the other side. So stretching the left leg behind you this time. Take a little gentle rock forwards and backwards. Just to stretch through the back of that left leg. And then coming back to that tabletop position, hug the belly button in, wrists are right underneath the shoulders, knees under the hip, you're lifting the left leg up, take a deep breath in. Exhaling, bring that knee in towards the chest. You're going to take it out to the side and then gently bring it back in. So again, just keeping that movement, inhaling and exhaling. Just moving through the hip, however you want to, it doesn't really matter. Just feeling that little stretch in the hip and maybe even into that glute. So just one more of these here. And then you're going to bring that knee down towards the mat. Just take a little shake and a wiggle from side to side. You're going to bring the toes together now, knees as wide as the mat, sitting back on towards the heels. You're going to start to walk the hands forward. So really stretching through the fingertips here. Sink the hips all the way down to the heels. So you're going to pause down here. It's a little restful child's pose. And we're gradually just allowing the chest to come closer towards the mat. So try not to bring the forearms to the mat. Try and really stretch those fingertips forward as far as you can. And each time you breathe out, just try and send those hips back towards the heels a little bit further. And really imagine separating all the vertebrae in the spine so we can keep the spine nice and long. So we're going to take 3 breaths here. Start to bring the hands back up into your tabletop position. So just walk the knees in again slightly so that they're right underneath the hips. You're pressing the hands into the mat and we're going to come into our first downward facing dog. So you're going to keep the hands where they are, roughly if you can. You're going to tuck the toes under, lift the hips and coming into your downward facing dog. So keep the knees nice and soft to start with. We're trying to focus more on lengthening through the spine. So rather than having the legs straight and rounding through the top of the back, you want your tailbone to be up towards the ceiling. We're really lengthening through the spine and the back of the neck. So just gently starting to pedal through the backs of the legs here. Maybe moving the hips gently from side to side. And then you're going to start to walk the feet towards the hands and the hands towards the feet. And we're just going to make like a little shelf for our belly here. So you're going to rest the belly onto the thighs. You're dropping the head down towards the mat. So completely nodding the head yes and no. Loosen at the back of the neck. You're going to bring the hands onto the elbows. So you're grabbing hold of your elbows and just take a very gentle rock or a sway from side to side. And then take a little pause here. We're going to release the elbows. So pressing the feet into the mat, you're rolling up the spine really slowly. So just take it as slow as you can. Bring the head up last. So pressing those feet in towards the mat, rolling all the way up from the spine here. And finally bring the head up. So give the legs a little shake. You're going to come towards the front of your mat. We're going to get a little bit warmer now. So we're going to bring the hands down, fingertips pointing forwards. Just take a little roll of the shoulders, standing up really tall. So you want to hug your belly button in, you're lifting the kneecaps, engaging the thighs, and standing up really tall. So towards the front of the mat, really ground down here. You're going to take an inhale, lift the arms up. So nice and slowly reaching all the way up to the ceiling. As you exhale, you're going to take a forward fold. So folding down towards the mat. Keep the back as flat as you can. Soften and bend the knees to bring the hands all the way down. You're going to step the right foot back. So slide or step that foot all the way down the mat and lower the knee. You want the left knee over the left ankle. You're going to slowly come up. So reaching through those arms. So stretch through the fingertips. Draw the shoulders away from the ears and lift through the chest here. So breathing in. One more inhale. Exhaling, bring those hands down. You're stepping back into a high plank. So you can tuck the right toes under and step straight back, or you're going to come onto the knees first and then lift the hips. So you don't want the hips up here, we're not in downward facing dog, and you don't want them down here. You want to try and keep the back nice and strong, core nice and tight. So just take a little breath here. You're going to drop the knees, untuck the toes. Now, holding that belly button in, we're lowering the chest in between the hands all the way down to the mat. So squeeze the elbows in towards the body, slowly lowering down. Chin to the chest, slide the hips back. Press the hands into the mat, squeeze those elbows. The hands are under the shoulders. You're going to take an inhale to lift. And an exhale to lower. We're going to take one more breath here like this. Keep drawing those shoulders away from the ears and exhaling to lower. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. You're going to come into downward facing dog, so take it to the knees first if you want to. And then send the hips up and walking the feet in just slightly. So it doesn't matter if the heels don't come all the way to the mat, you can keep that soft bend in the knees, just lengthen through the spine. Just take a pause here. You're going to step the right foot forward, so step it straight through between the hands and drop the left knee down first if you want to and give it some help. So now you've got the right knee directly over the right ankle. You're going to sweep the arms up. Lift through the heart and chest. You want to feel a nice stretch into this left hip. So if your knee is overshooting the ankle, just take the feet a little bit further apart. You should really feel like you're stretching through the hip here. One more breath. Exhale, bring the hands down. Step the back foot to the front. Nice big step to bring the feet together. And then an inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, we're folding down to the mat. Left foot comes back, lower the knee down. So we've got the right knee over the right ankle again here. We're going to sweep the arms up to the ceiling. Stretch through the fingertips and the heart. One more breath. Exhaling, bring the hands down, coming back into that high plank. So you're going to tuck the left toes under and step straight back, or you can come to the knees first and then lift the hips up. So again, hold that core in nice and tight. Shoulders over the wrist, pull the belly in, drop the knees and tuck the toes, lowering the chest to the mat. Squeeze those elbows together, slide the hips. 2 breaths into your cobra, so lifting here. So don't pinch the lower back, just come as high as you need to. Exhaling to lower. One more breath, lifting up. And exhale to lower. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. You're coming to downward facing dog, so take it straight up. Or to the knees first if you need to, adjusting the feet, send that tailbone up nice and high. Pull the belly button in. You're going to step the left foot forward, so stepping it straight through or coming to the right knee first and giving it some help wherever you are, it doesn't matter. You're going to reach the arms up towards the ceiling. So again, keeping this left knee over the ankle, sinking and stretching into that right hip this time. One more breath. Exhaling, bring the hands down. You're going to step the back foot all the way to the front. Nice big step to bring the feet together. And then an inhale, reaching up. So we're going to take that a little bit quicker this time. So coming back to the front of your mat. Inhaling, lift the arms up. And exhaling to fold. Step the right foot back. Nice big step. Lower the knees, sweep the arms up. Use the whole of your breath in to reach those arms up. The whole of the breath out, bring the hands down into your high plank. Tuck the right toes, step straight back onto the knees first. Shoulders over wrists, hug the belly button in. Just take a little breath. Exhale, lower the knees, untuck the toes, squeeze those elbows, slide the hips. Take an inhale. And an exhale. Coming straight into downward facing dog, so tuck the toes, lift the hips. All the way up. Adjust the feet, send the tailbone up nice and high. Take another breath. And as you inhale, you're stepping the right foot forward. Left knee comes to the mat. Use the whole of that inhale to reach the arms up. And the whole of the exhale, take the hands down. Back foot comes to the front. And inhale to lift up. Final half. Exhale to fold. Left foot back. Whole of that inhale, reach the arms up. Whole of the exhale, take the hands down into your high plank. Shoulders over the wrist, pull the belly button in. Drop the knees, untuck the toes, lower the chest to the mat. Slide the hips, breathing in. And breathing out to lower. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, come to your downward facing dog. Adjust the feet, send the tailbone up nice and high, and just take a little breath here. Step the left foot forward, drop the right knee down towards the mat. Use the arms as you inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, bring the hands down. Step the back foot to the front. And a final inhale, lift the arms up towards the ceiling. Stretch through the fingertips and bring the hands down to the centre of the chest. So, we should be feeling a little bit warmer by now. Just checking everyone can still see me. Okay, so you're going to come to the front of your mat now. Bring those feet hip width apart, and you're going to step the right leg back to start with. So stepping back into your high crescent lunge. So you've got your left knee over the ankle. I'm going to twist. Do it this way, sorry. So, left knee over the ankle, right leg is back. So keep pressing back through that right heel. So if the foot is all the way to the floor, just take the legs wider so you can really press back through that heel. You want to squeeze through the thighs here. Lift through the chest and heart. Just take a breath. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. We're going to reach up through those arms. And on our next inhale, you're going to straighten that front leg. So starting to straighten the front leg, lift the arms up. And as you exhale, bend it down. 2 more breaths like this, lifting up. And exhale, sinking down. Final breath, reach all the way up. Exhale, just take a little pause here. So draw those shoulders away from the ears. Really reach up through those fingertips. Keep bending into this left knee. Want to be nice and strong in this front leg. You're going to turn the back foot out and open into your warrior two. So your front left heel and your right instep should roughly be in a line. You're going to square the hips, square the shoulders. Keep bending this front knee. You're going to keep the arms out so that they're in line with the body. Just take a little pause here. Inhaling, lifting up, straighten that front leg. And exhale, sinking down. 2 more breaths like this, stretching up. And exhale, take it down. Final breath, lifting up. And exhale here. Just take a little pause. So really stretch through those fingertips. The body's up nice and straight. You're relaxing the shoulders. You're just gazing over these front fingertips. You're going to flip the left palm. Reach forward. Take an inhale. Really lift and lengthen through that left side of the body. And exhale. Bottom half of the body stays still. Just moving the upper half. Inhaling. And exhale. 1 more breath like this. Really stretching up. Just take a little pause here. Draw that left shoulder blade back. Really sink into the front knee. Final breath. Keeping the bottom half of the body still, just floating those arms back up here. You're going to drop the left arm onto the front leg. Sweep the right arm forward, all the way up towards the ceiling and open out here. So internally rotate. You're going to see if you can bring that right hand towards the left hip. So if you can't bring it all the way around, just grab hold of a piece of clothing behind you or whatever you've got on. You're going to draw this top shoulder blade back. So try not to roll in here. We're going to revolve the whole chest to the ceiling, looking up. Keeping this sinking bend into the front knee, nice and strong. Try not to bring too much weight onto that front leg. So keep drawing this right shoulder blade back. You're going to take one final breath here. As you inhale, we're lifting this back arm all the way up. The bottom half of the body is going to stay still. Ground down through those feet. Just move the upper body back into your warrior two. Pause here. Inhale, straighten that front leg. Finally, bring the hands to the hips. Turn the left toes to point towards the side of your mat. So, feet should be really nice and wide now. Use the whole of that mat. You want to turn both toes so that they're pointing into one another just slightly. And you're pressing the sides of the feet into the mat. So stand up nice and tall to start with. Take an inhale. As you exhale, holding that belly button in, you're just folding forward from the hips. So keep drawing the shoulders back to try and keep this back nice and long. The head should be in line with the spine. You want to keep feeling like you're lifting through the chest and heart here. Take a little pause and then exhaling and carry on folding down towards the mat. So bringing the hands down, just make any adjustments with the feet and hands that you need. And maybe see if you can walk those hands back a little bit so that they're in line with the feet. So just really drawing those shoulders away from the ears, lift through the chest and heart, and just take a little pause here to feel a little bit comfortable into this fold. You're going to take a little rock from side to side. So just bending through the right knee, and then bending through the left. So just nice and gently from side to side, just loosening out those hips. Just take another final breath here, and then slowly coming back to the center. You're going to lift through that chest, take a deep breath. And exhaling, see if you can fold from the hips and just completely relax down towards the mat. So you can bring the forehead down if you can, the forearms, wherever you are, just completely collapse down. And you can even soften the backs of the legs slightly if you need to. You just really want to breathe into the hamstrings here and just completely relax down. So gently nodding that head yes and no once more, just to loosen out the back of the neck. Soften the knees, bring the hands back up to the hips. Now we're coming back up as slowly as we went down. So really press those feet into the floor. Slowly lift through the chest and heart all the way to standing. We're going to walk the feet in very slightly. You're going to turn that left toes to point towards the front of your mat. We're going to windmill the hands either side of this front foot. So you're twisting the right toes so they're also pointing towards the front of your mat. You're going to place the hands down. And we're going to step back into a high plank. So you can come to the right knee if you need to and step back. Or you're just going to step straight back. The shoulders are right over the wrist. Hug that belly button in. You're either going to drop the knees if you want to. Or we're going to come halfway down. Roll over the toes. Lift through the chest and heart. And exhale into your downward facing dog. Adjusting the feet and the tailbone up nice and high. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Just take a little breath here. You're going to bend the knees, looking towards the front of the mat. You're going to take a hop, step or jump to bring the feet together. And then an inhale, lift the arms all the way up to the ceiling. Bring the palms together down into the center of the chest. You're going to ground down through the left leg. And you're reaching the right leg up. So, toes to the mat, or you can lift the leg up. Thigh parallel with the ceiling we're aiming for. We're going to stand up nice and tall, relax the shoulders. Pull the belly button in, lift the pelvic floor. Just take a little pause here. If you want to take it a little bit further, you're going to bring this right hand to the lower back. The left hand to the outside of the right knee. You're going to lengthen through the spine and gently twist. Stay in the center if you want to, wherever you are. Just keep breathing here. Relax the shoulders. One more breath. Coming back to the center, if you take that twist, you're going to slowly lower that foot to the mat and just give the legs a little shake. So, going to take all of that on the other side. You're going to come back to the front of your mat, and we're going to step the left foot back this time. So, stepping it back down the mat. Your right knee is forward, your left heel is pressing back. Like so. So, keep nice and strong in this front leg. Again, if that back leg is flat, if the heel is flat on the mat, just take the feet a little bit wider. You want to keep pulling this left hip forward, so both hips should be squared towards the front of the mat. Nice and strong in those legs. Take a breath here. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Standing nice and strong in your high crescent lunge. As you inhale, you're going to straighten the front leg. Breathing in. Breathing out, bend it down. Keep stretching through that left hip. Breathing in to straighten. And breathing out to sink. One more breath. Exhale here. Just take a little pause. Really draw those shoulders back. And then you're going to open the arms into a warrior two. So this time, your front right heel is in line with the left instep. Bend into that front knee. Keep pressing that knee back behind you. You're squaring the hips, squaring the shoulders. Take the arms up nice and wide so that they're in line with the shoulders here. Really bend into that hip. Just take a little pause. And then we're going to inhale, straight the front leg, reaching up. And exhale, take it down. 2 more breaths like this. Nice and slow. Use the whole of your inhale. Really reach and breathe through the sides of the body. And as you exhale to sink, final breath. Take a little pause here. So really bending into that front knee. The body's up nice and straight. Someone's pulling those fingertips apart. Nice and strong. You're going to flip the right palm, reaching forward. Take an inhale all the way up. Really breathe through that right side of the body. Bottom half stays still. You're just floating those arms back up. Inhale. And exhale. One more breath like this. I'm going to take a little pause here. So drawing that right shoulder blade back. Really breathing through the sides of the body here. Just nice big stretch. And then keeping the bottom half of the body still, you're just floating those arms back. You're going to drop the right arm onto the front leg, reach the left arm forwards and all the way over the top of the head. Internally rotate. You're bringing this hand round and seeing if you can grab hold of the right hip this time. So piece of clothing wherever you are, it doesn't have to be all the way around. But keep bending into this front leg. So if you should be able to lift that right arm off. You're going to keep drawing this left shoulder blade back, so really lengthening through the spine, revolving the whole chest. One more breath. Inhale, reach and lift through the side of the body. Grounding down through the feet. We're not moving the bottom half of the body yet, we're just going to come all the way up. Take a pause. Inhale, straighten that front leg, the arms, and turn the toes to point in front of you. So, feet should be nice and wide. We're going to take our forward fold again. So again, use the whole of your mat if you can. You want to keep turning the toes in, just slightly pressing the sides of the feet into the mat. So bring the hands onto the hips, draw the shoulders away from the ears, lengthen through the spine as you inhale, and exhale, slowly coming forwards. Keep that back nice and flat, head in line with the spine. Take a little pause halfway down, breathing here. And exhale as you scoot that belly, carry on folding down towards the mat. So bend the knees as much as you need to bring the hands down, or not, if you have nice long hamstrings. You're going to walk the hands back a little bit so they're in line with the feet, and maybe just make any adjustments with the feet that you need to, just to feel a little bit more comfortable. So we're just going to take a little pause here. And then very gently just take a little rock from side to side. So So just loosening up the hips. We're trying to keep the back nice and long here, so try not to round through the spine. You want to keep the head and the chest nice and lifted. So just in your own time, just nice and gently, side to side, stretching through those hips. And we're going to take a little pause in the centre. Take another inhale, lengthen through that spine. Exhaling, you're going to completely relax down towards the mat. So soften the knees if you need to, if you want to bring the forearms to the floor, the head, wherever you are. Just completely relax down. Gently nod the head yes and no. I'm really trying to breathe into the backs of the hamstrings here. You're going to soften both the knees, bring the hands back up onto the hips, and as slowly as we came down, we're coming back up, so really press those feet into the floor, bring yourself all the way to standing. Walk the feet in very slightly if you need to. You're going to turn the right toes towards the front of your mat this time. You're windmilling the hands either side of the front foot, and the left toes are twisting, so both toes are pointing towards the front of the mat now. Plant the hands down. We're coming into a high plank, so drop the knees if you want to. Coming here, lift the knees if you want to, hug that belly button in, or keep the knees lower. So either lifted or lowering those knees, you're going to come slowly down towards the mat. You're either sliding the hips back, or you're going to lift all the way up, and exhaling down. Coming into your downward facing dog. So again, to the knees or straight up if you want to. Send those hips nice and high. Just take a little breath here. Restful pose, this one. Doesn't always feel like it though. You're going to soften the knees, look towards the front of the mat, take a hop, step or a jump to bring the feet together, and an inhale, lift the arms up. Stretch towards the ceiling. Bring the palms down into the centre of the chest. You're going to ground down through the right leg this time, lifting the left leg up, so rest the toes on the mat if you need to. Or you're going to take this thigh so it's parallel with the ceiling. Relax the shoulders, pull the belly button in, crown of the head is high, lifting the pelvic floor. And breathe. You can pause here if you want to take it a little bit further. Left hand to the lower back, right hand to the outside of the left knee. You're going to lengthen through that spine and gently twist to the left as you breathe out. Keep relaxing the shoulders, finding that point of focus and balance. And breathe, which is almost impossible to do, I know, but you need to try and find that breath. Just take one more breath here. If you're taking that twist, you're going to come back to the centre for a final breath. And then you're just going to bring that leg down, give both legs a little shake. And we're coming back to the front of the mat. So you're going to take an inhale, lift the arms and chest. And exhale, folding forward. Keep the back nice and flat, but you're going to slide the hands up the shins now. So draw those shoulders away from the ears. Scoop the belly button in and really try and flatten out the back. Just take a little breath here. As you exhale, you're going to slide the hands down and come down onto the knees. So you're swinging the legs all the way around in front of you towards the front of your mat. You're going to hug the right knee in nice and tightly and stretch the left leg out. So sitting up nice and tall, relax those shoulders again. You can keep the feet here, you can step that foot over, and if you can keep both sit bones and hips on the floor, you're going to swing this straight leg all the way around. So wherever you are, it doesn't matter, just go with it. You want to make sure that this foot is completely flat towards the mat as well. So you're going to wrap your left hand around this front knee, you're going to bring the right hand behind you. Pressing that right hand into the mat, you're going to lift through the chest and heart and then gently take a twist to your right. So you keep drawing this right shoulder blade back, chin still into the centre of the chest, almost hugging this front right knee in towards the body. Each time you breathe in, you're going to ground down through those sit bones, sit a little bit taller. And as you exhale, you're just taking that twist a little bit deep. You should feel quite a deep stretch into this right thigh and into the glute here. You're going to slowly come back to the centre. Unravel the legs, and you're hugging the left knee in towards you this time. So pulling it in nice and tight, sitting up tall. Pressing through this right heel. Keep the feet here. Step that foot over. If you want to wrap the straight leg around, you just make sure you can keep both sit bones onto the mat. It might be that one side is easier than the other, and you can do one thing on one side but not on the other, but just go with whatever you can. So again, keeping this left foot flat towards the mat. You're going to wrap the right arm around the front leg, left hand comes behind you. Breathing in, lengthen through that spine, and breathing out, twist here. So really hug this front knee in nice and tightly. You're drawing this left shoulder back, chin into the centre of the chest. Each time you inhale, you're lengthening through that spine a little bit more. And as you exhale, you're twisting a little bit deeper. So again, you can really feel that stretch into the left hip and into the glute here. Just take a final breath now. I'm going to slowly come back to the centre. We're unravelling the legs. So, we're going to try something we haven't done for a little while. So we're going to sit up nice and tall. So hug that belly button in, press through the heels. Start with. You're going to bring the hands behind you so the fingertips are pointing towards the body and you're squeezing the shoulder blades together. If you want to, you can bring the feet flat to the floor and lift up like this, or if you want to take it a little bit further, some people find this a little bit easier, some people find it more tricky, just whatever you are. But keep lifting through the chest, really keep these arms nice and strong, and you're going to send the hips up so the toes are coming towards the mat and you're just looking up to the ceiling. And then we're going to slowly come down, we're not holding it too far, too quickly. We're going to do 2 more breaths. So lifting up nice and slowly, lift through those hips, and exhale to lower. So again, you could be here, lifting up nice and slowly and all the way back down. We're going to take a final breath. So really lifting up nice and high. Press those hips, draw the shoulders back. You can look up towards the ceiling. 2 more breaths wherever you are. Final breath. And slowly coming back down towards the mat. You're going to bring the feet in if they're stretched out in front of you. You're going to wrap the arms all the way around you. Hug yourself into a tiny little ball and drop the chin down to the chest. We're going to come all the way back up. So you're just going to bring the hands onto the shoulders now. You're going to stretch those legs out in front of you again if you can. Again, keep them bent if you need to. We're going to take 3 big circles, so bringing the elbows together, lift all the way up, squeeze those shoulder blades together. Keep sitting up nice and tall. Try and pull that belly button in and really lengthen through the spine here, so you're grounding down through the sit bones, coming back the other way. Shoulder blades together, elbows together at the front. Final breath. Give the arms, the shoulders, everything a little shake. So we're coming down to our mat. I'm not going to make you roll down slowly, you can just take your time here. Come all the way down. You're going to hug the knees in towards the chest, take a little circle round. So just loosening out that lower back now. And then take the knees around the other way. We're going to take a final twist here. So, bringing the knees and the ankles together. You can clasp the hands behind the back of the head, or you can bring the arms out nice and wide. We're going to take a deep breath in. And exhaling, we're slowly lowering the knees over to the right. So just taking them down as slowly as you can. As far as you can. Doesn't matter if they don't come all the way to the mat. I've hit a radiator. I'm just going to do a little shuffle. And whenever you've come as far as you can, you're just going to take a little pause. The most important thing is that this shoulder blade does not lift. You're drawing that left shoulder blade back, so plugging it into the mat. Your knees are to the right. Your left hip is rolling on top of the right. You're going to keep the knees and the ankles together as best as you can. So you feel quite a nice twist in the spine here. So if you want to take it a bit further, you can look over to the left. And remember, you're keeping these arms nice and relaxed here. You're just breathing here. And each time you breathe out, you're going to see if you can relax into this twist a little bit more. So can you roll that left hip over a bit more? Can you draw the left shoulder blade back just a little bit more? Just to really open up the shoulders and the chest here. Just take a final breath now. So we're going to very slowly bring the knees back up to the centre, but we're not going to throw them back up. We're not going to use the floor. We're going to use the tummy muscles. Nice and slowly, slow as you came down. Try not to use the arms either. Bring them all the way back up to the centre. Take a deep breath in. And exhaling, you're lowering them to the left side. So keeping the knees and ankles together as best as you can. Just take them over as far as you can. So it doesn't matter if they only come to here. Doesn't matter if they come all the way to the ground. So you want to try and keep those knees together. You're rolling the right hip on top of the left this time. But again, the most important thing is that this right shoulder blade does not lift off your mat or the floor. Draw it all the way back. The arms are either side of the body or the hands are clasped behind the back of the head, wherever you are. If you want to take it a little bit further, you're going to look over to the right. And we're really using that breath here just to relax into your twist. So each time you exhale, can you roll the right hip a little bit further over? Can you bring the knees a little bit closer together? Can you draw the right shoulder blade back just a tiny little bit more? And can you relax? Can you breathe here into your twist? And then we're going to bring the knees back up to the centre. So again, we're not using the floor, we're not using our hands, we're using the tummy muscles. So it's squeezing, squeezing, squeezing. Bring those knees nice and slowly all the way back up to the centre. You're going to wrap the arms all the way around just to see if you can grab hold of the elbows here onto the forearms maybe. If you want to bring the forehead up and the chin up towards the knees, you can, and hug yourself into a tiny little ball. So just take a deep breath here. And as you exhale, see if you can squeeze those knees in tighter, tense all the muscles. Just a final breath. You're going to release the knees, the arms, the legs, and come down into your final resting pose, your Savasana. So if you need a jumper or some socks or anything, you might cool down quite quickly. You'll probably be fine being in your house. So you're just going to allow the toes to flop out to the bottom corners of the mat. You're looking up towards the ceiling and closing the eyes. Relax the shoulders. Bring the arms either side of the body with the palms facing up. And just leave a small gap into the armpit. So just pausing here. Let go of your practice and just focus on the breath once more. But rather than trying to control it, you're just allowing that breath to flow very naturally in and out of the body. Completely relaxing into the earth. From the crown of the head all the way down towards the tips of the toes. Relaxing the forehead, the eyebrows and the space between the eyebrows, the cheeks, the chin, the lips and the jaw soft and relaxed. Relax the sides of the neck down to the shoulders, the tops of the arms to the elbows, down to the forearms, to the wrists, the palms of the hands, the backs of the hands, and all 10 fingers. Soften the throat, the chest, the space around the heart down towards the belly and the hips. Relaxing the back of the neck, down to the shoulder blades, the top, middle and lower back. Completely relaxed and melting into the earth. Soften the hips, the thighs, knees, calves and shins down towards the ankles, the soles of the feet, the tops of the feet and all 10 toes. The whole of the body completely calm, relaxed and peaceful. Just let it feel like you're melting into the earth below. The whole of the body heavy, relaxed and calm. So just keeping that focus and attention on the breath. Each time you exhale, just try and release any tension or tightness that you can feel anywhere in the body. And if the mind does start to wander, just simply let those thoughts float away, allowing your attention to come back to the soft, smooth flow of the breath. So just pausing here for a few more moments, allowing the body and mind to feel completely calm and relaxed. You can gently start to deepen your breath. Just bringing a little bit of awareness back into the room, still with the eyes closed, but just deepening that breath slightly. You can start to wiggle the fingers and the toes just to bring some movement back into the body. And maybe gently rock the head from side to side just to loosen out the back of the neck. If you want to, you can reach the arms up and above the head for a full body stretch from the tips of the fingers all the way down to the toes. Just a nice big stretch. And then still keeping the eyes closed or the gaze down, you're going to very slowly take a little roll onto your right side. Use the arms or hands as a pillow and just gently bring the knees in towards the chest. Just resting on your right side here. Feeling calm, peaceful, relaxed. And just allowing these feelings to come with you throughout the rest of your evening. Knowing that you can return to this place of calm and peace at any time that you need. So still keeping the eyes closed or the gaze down. You're going to really slowly and gently, taking as much time as you need, bring yourself up to a comfortable seated position on the mat. Just really take your time. So once you're all the way back up onto the mat, just wherever you are, seated nice and comfortably, just take a very gentle roll of the shoulders. And then sitting up nice and tall, you're going to take a breath in through the nose and lift the shoulders towards the ears. And as you drop them back down, you're going to sigh back out through the mouth. Just one more breath like this. Gently drop the chin down towards the chest. You're going to start to rub the palms of the hands together to generate some heat. palms over the eyes. Blink the eyes open into the palms and bring the hands down whenever you are ready. Thank you, everybody. I wish you a very peaceful rest of your week. Namaste. So, thank you again for joining me this evening. I hope you enjoyed, and hopefully I will see you again next week. So back again on Monday morning, bright and early, 9:30. Have a lovely weekend, Easter. It will be Easter Monday on Monday, but I'm still going to go with it anyway. So if anyone wants to, then come along. All right then, thank you very much. Any questions, anything, just drop me a message. Bye.